Let's go.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Peace. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. I hope everyone is enjoying their Monday afternoon. And today's topic is dignity, identity, self-accountability, building, and shunning the clowns and their behavior. I've done several streams speaking about people who do our people harm. You know, the police, white supremacist, suspected white supremacist, holding them accountable for their actions because of the mistreatment of our people. Yet, it's a segment of the accountability that must come from us. We must hold ourselves accountable for our actions on what we do, how we behave in public, and how we treat each other in public and in private. You know, somebody's private business or their business, yet how we behave in public is very important. And it's an excuse that our open and consistent enemy use to mistreat us and to do harm to us. Because every time we call out suspected white supremacists because of the mistreatment of us, they'll throw Chicago in our face, they'll throw New York in our face, they'll throw all of these cities that our people are in acting a fool. They'll throw those cities in our face and say, well, how many murders were there in Chicago, Detroit, New York, New Jersey, wherever our people are at, cutting up. Now, before I get started with the subject matter, I'm going to play some beats to allow people to come in. We have to hold ourselves accountable, because if people seen our people loving each other, treating each other like we should be treated, or at least how we want to be treated, they'll look at us as a dignified people. But some of us think in their priority that a name means more than us having power and behaving and seen as a dignified people. Whatever we decide to call ourselves, we should be that in a dignified manner. And when people see us, they'll see us as a dignified people, and we'll be able to exercise power. If someone have it in their mind to mistreat or do harm to one of us. But if we don't respect each other, no one's going to respect us. Play a few beats until some people come in. Start the subject matter.
like I swiped just about all the jewels from this treasure room. Now let's see what's behind this door.
Beats are crazy. One more beat, and then I'm going to start the subject matter. Peace. This is Bro.Nasir, and this is the enemy's public. I don't know why StreamYard does this every stream. When I'm about to do the presentation, I'm always kicked out of the studio. This is crazy. And then I had to set everything up again that I had set up. They love sabotaging the brothers' presentations. Peace to my brother, Voodoo Child. Thank you for tapping in, my brother. I appreciate it. Yet we have to hold ourselves accountable. And if we do hold ourselves accountable and we treat each other better than we've been treating each other, people will see that and they wouldn't bother us and they wouldn't even have it in their mind to mistreat us and do us harm. But if we mistreat each other, that gives them the reason to try to do it themselves. And I'm going to go all over the place with this presentation because we're all over the place in our foolishness. So I'm going to be all over the place, and we are not just doing one particular thing. We're doing all kinds of foolishness and misrepresenting ourselves of who we are as a people. We have too many people who are brilliant for us to be in the same condition and predicament that we're in. Too many of us are brilliant. Yet, we don't use, I guess we don't use all of our mind. But we have a lot of work to do on ourselves. I'll say that much.
We begin with outrage in Trenton, New Jersey over the killing of a 15-year-old girl, one of several people struck by gunfire. Right now, investigators are vowing to bring the killer to justice. Rattled neighbors spoke to Eyewitness News reporter Jasmine Payute. They saw this shooting unfold on their block.
Crime scene tape and evidence markers drawn on pavement paint a grim picture of what happened just hours prior.
Yeah. We was parking in there. And we hear the pop.
Trenton police say 4 people were struck as a result of the gunfire that sent neighbors running for cover. One of the people hit, 15-year-old Shemaiah Davis, died.
This is time life, 15, I don't know what you're going to do, and maybe doctor, maybe teacher, something like that. Right now, what going to do? She's going to do nothing right now because she died.
Police say in addition to that 15-year-old, a 17-year-old boy was shot once in the leg, and a 19-year-old girl was shot multiple times. She remains in critical condition. The mayor says a 20-year-old was also shot, but no other information was provided.
Somebody is screaming, oh, they went down. Somebody on the floor. And I walk over there and I look at the 2 girls on the floor.
Neighbors who asked not to be identified says they're the ones who called 911. They rushed over once the ringing sound of gunshots subsided.
Sad because we thought it was like a 10-year-old girl.
Ago, yes.
We saw her at 10 years old in the floor.
She looks so young.
Yes.
Trenton Mayor W. Reed Gasoria released a statement saying it is terrifying and unsettling to feel the weight of the issue so close to our homes and our hearts. Since January 2021, Trenton PD has taken more than 150 guns off our streets, and that gun violence was down by 20%. They're asking anyone with information to come forward as they work to find out why someone would shoot towards children. In Trenton, Jasmine Payute, CBS 3 Eyewitness.
Now, some of these stories are as recent as 2 days ago. Some are a little old.
But first, we have breaking news about a deadly triple shooting in Trenton.
Some are old, and some are as recent as a day ago and 2 days ago. But I just want to point the mirror at ourselves and let us know that we have to do better on how we treat each other. Peace to my brother, Big Dog Philly OJ. Thanks for tapping in, because we have to eliminate our eternal or internal problems. That way, we don't have any domestic problems among the family, among our people, because the minute we call out people when they mistreat us, the first thing they do is talk about how we treat each other and make that an excuse of what they do to us. So we need to do better on how we treat each other. And this is really self-destructive. How we treat each other, we really it's really no. I know white supremacists, that's in their nature, but they can just sit down somewhere. Really, they can sit down somewhere, and we're so trained with the Willie Lynch syndrome that we carry out their duties for them.
Chopper 3 over the scene in the Chestnut Park area around 1:30 this afternoon. Mercer County investigators say 3 men have been shot. One later died at the hospital. They believe 2 of the victims, including the man who died, were targeted. So far, no arrests yet in this case.
This is Trenton, New Jersey. All of this is Trenton. The state capital of New Jersey. The capital. This is what happened in the capital. Now we're going to move on from there and go to a story that's utterly ridiculous. Now, a man was shot in the chest and killed.
It is video that only tells part of a story right now, a story that is still being written.
A man was shot in the chest, killed over grass clippings in St. Louis
Tonight, but no matter what the final chapter is, this man's life is over from a fatal meeting and his family devastated. Thanks for joining us at 10 on air and wherever you're streaming. I'm Corey Stark. Samantha has the night off. That man's death appears to be over a lawn care disagreement. And News 4 has video leading up to and after the clash. News 4's Ashley Lincoln is speaking to the victim's family about the shooting that happened in Glasgow Village in St. Louis County. Ashley is live following that investigation tonight. Ashley?
That's right, Corey. The victim's family telling me tonight that this was a senseless act of violence. Again, as you mentioned, this was all over a yard debris dispute regarding grass that was cut from the neighbor's yard. Tonight, we're learning that police are reviewing surveillance camera from that home to figure out who's responsible for this shooting.
Senseless. 4 shots to the chest. Why?
That's the question the fiance of Alan Waller says keeps her up at night.
We were good people. Why?
Waller, who's also a father, was gunned down in his driveway Sunday morning.
All we did was go shopping for the kids and come home.
His fiance, who didn't want her face shown for her safety, says after errands and coming home, Waller wanted to talk to the neighbor's landscapers about ongoing issues from them leaving their debris in his driveway. Home surveillance video shows the female neighbor walking 2 men to Waller's doorstep. After the men confirm, Waller takes them to the side of the house to show them the debris. His fiance says that side of the home doesn't have cameras. Within seconds of being out of frame, things go wrong. 8 seconds go by before you see the neighbor sprinting across her lawn. And soon after, A third man appears from behind a truck with a gun. Waller's fiance, who was inside the home with their children, describes the gunshots.
It's like, shh, whatever type of gun it was, that's the shots I heard. I went to go see my man. I see he's on the ground. I immediately went in to grab my phone to call 911.
I reached out to St. Louis County Police, who say they can't comment on where this investigation stands, but they do say detectives have an optimistic outlook on this case.
I'm strong, but it hurts. It hurts. My 2-year-old daughter cries.
They say hurt people, and we are hurt people that hurt each other. And once we get it in our mind that we are not going to mistreat and hurt and murder each other, and people see us loving each other, caring for each other, sometimes we have to stand up for each other, and sometimes we have to stand up to each other to correct ourselves in our behavior.
That's what her daddy screams for her daddy, kissing her daddy pictures because she miss him.
And I also went to that neighbor's home to figure out who these landscapers are. That neighbor was not home. We did leave our card with our contact information. She, however, has not reached out to us since we left that neighborhood. We did find, however, from police that they are still actively investigating, and they're encouraging the public, if you have information on who these individuals are, to contact their office. We'll have that information on our News 4 app. Live tonight in Clayton, Ashley Lincoln, News 4.
Ashley.
Now we're going to go back to my state.
We're looking at images seen earlier.
This happened last month. A young brother, 26 years old, murdered his mother, his sister, and I believe his children's mother. And it was crazy. And they caught him in the state capital, Trenton.
Earlier in Trenton, New Jersey, which is the focal point right now where it's believed the suspect may be. And again, in this imagery, when you saw earlier, you see law enforcement on that second level. You can see to the right of that residence, there's a ladder. We watched off camera, not live on television, but we saw it off camera. We saw the investigator or the authority walking up to that second level, and you see right here getting into the window and then escorting somebody out. We've since learned, Danny, through your reporting, that all the residents is how they're classifying the people in that house. They have all been taken out safely. All right, with us now, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. All right, so Andy, this is cross state lines, which is why we also love your expertise, because now, you know, this possibly is a federal investigation, right, for crossing state lines. So if indeed the suspect continues to be in there, talk to us about the priority of events, trying to negotiate with this person, or perhaps the priority is really trying to get residents out safely. Now, what possibly is transpiring?
So, Fred, you hit the nail on the head there. The first thing, if you have the opportunity to do it.
Now, our enemy, they do not mind reporting these type of stories. We have to understand that these are maniac European devils in action. That's my acronym for media. These people don't mind showing us in our ugliness all over the world. So when people see us, they don't see us as a dignified people. They don't see us as a people who got, you know, who's together. You know, we need to decide who we're going to be. Not, you know, a name is important, but when people see us, they're not concerned about a name, because we need to understand also that our skin is our uniform in the war that's been waged against us, in the war that we are not prepared to fight, because we have to be a unit, one unit. Uniform means a unit formed, not necessarily what we're wearing. They have to be a unit formed, organized with a strategy, and we need to deputize our people. Everyone has a skill and a skill level. We pull our resources and whatever skill our brothers and our sisters have, we aid them in their skills and vice versa. But the job has to be done, and it's going to take us, it's going to take a collective effort.
And it looks from this compelling video that they had the chance to and took advantage of it. You want to get as many potential hostages, residents, or actual hostages out of that building and off the scene to safety as you possibly can. And what you're seeing there is a very careful, incredibly dangerous, risky move, but one that successfully evacuated a number of those hostages. Every time you have a hostage leave the set, the level of risk and danger reduces somewhat. And that is really the thing that law enforcement is focused on going forward. Everybody thinks about hostage situations in terms of a tactical entry where a tactical team or a SWAT team goes in and confronts the offender or the hostage taker. In reality, that's the option of last resort. It's incredibly dangerous for the law enforcement folks involved and for anybody who's in the house. And so unless people are in imminent danger of serious injury or death, you're going to put that tactical entry off as long as you possibly can. And if you can put it off by engaging with the hostage taker, talking to them, negotiating with them, striking deals for things like food or communications or access to talk to other people, you're going to do that as long as you possibly can. So these things can typically really drag out. If it starts to drag out like that, that's a sign that they do not believe that anyone inside is in imminent danger of death or injury.
And what about from a public safety standpoint? Because you're talking Trenton, New Jersey, which is, very heavily, densely populated. We're looking at what appears to be a duplex. And while we are hearing the reporting that residents have been safely escorted from that building, you also look at the proximity of that duplex to the next one over and what's likely across the street, et cetera. So what is likely happening involving the law enforcement resources about keeping people where they are, communicating with other residents in the area, evacuating? I mean, what is transpiring possibly?
Now I want to move on from this video. I want to go to the city that I live in. And this actually happened near Rutgers a few years ago. I'm just showing some of these videos are as recent as yesterday, 2 days ago, and some was a few years ago. I'm just showing the behavior that we display that we have to get away from if we're going to survive as a people, and if we're going to, hold other people accountable for how they treat us. We have to hold ourselves accountable of how we treat us. Now look at this video right here. Just look at this video. See these guys pulling up. Now watch what they do. And this is a party near the campus. I don't know what the motives are, but they shot the party up and they killed 2 people. And I knew both of the young brothers. Both of the young brothers were the promoters of the party. And this is a story about that shooting. It was crazy.
Breaking news from New Brunswick, and we now know that house party scene of a shooting near Rutgers University has turned deadly. We have our reporter, Diana Rocco, there with the newest information. Diana, what can you tell us?
Well, Mike, we've just received some very serious news this morning. We have learned that 2 men are dead and 6 others are injured after police responded to the shooting here at about 1:30 this morning. I can tell you that it is not affiliated in any way with Rutgers University students, although we are just blocks from their campus. You can see this is quite an extensive crime scene this morning. The Middlesex County prosecutors, investigators have been on the scene since early this morning. It was at about 1:30 this morning that shots were fired. We now know there were multiple victims, 8 victims,
Exactly,
2
Mama
dead.
Chief. Exactly.
Those 2 who are deceased are male victims, and 6 others were injured, all from gunshot wounds. This happened at 32 Delafield Street here in New Brunswick, just blocks from the campus. Most of the area is campus housing here. There were multiple people transported to a local hospital. It's still not clear what led up to all of this morning, but detectives have been on the scene since very early, going door to door, trying to get some more information and some possible eyewitnesses to all of this. It is not yet clear who police are looking for, whether it is 1 or more people, but I can tell you that gunfire did erupt about 1:30 this morning, interrupting an off-campus party. Again, this is not affiliated with
Equator
any
7
Rutgers
piece.
University students, but 2 men are dead this morning and 6 others are injured. Police are not saying who they may be looking for.
Now we're going to go across the bridge, 25 miles north.
Now to a developing story. Another young life cut short by gun violence.
A teenager in New Jersey has died after getting shot in the head this afternoon. CBS 2's Allie Bauman spoke to witnesses in East Orange.
Police sources tell us the victim, a 16-year-old boy, was shot in the head 4 times. It happened steps away from 3 different schools, and while classes were just letting out, first responders rushed the victim to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Surveillance video shows a crowd of school children standing around Monday afternoon. Then one by one, kids start to run, fleeing from gunshots. 15-year-old Mike was there, but did not want to show his face out of fear of retaliation.
I was saying, I hope God nobody got shot. I really did.
It happened around 3 p.m. on Lincoln Street near Park Avenue in East Orange.
I turned the corner, and the next thing you know...
Pardon me, this is still in New Jersey. This is probably about 15, 20 miles north of where I'm at.
I seen a kid lay down on the ground with blood, bleeding.
Mike says the 16-year-old victim's friends were standing around him, crying.
I feel like, it's crazy out here seeing us young black people out here as young kids getting shot.
Traumatized by what he saw, Mike called police, then began walking to the precinct.
I was sad myself. I was actually, when I was going to the police station, I was crying, actually. I was like, this is crazy.
There are no arrests. Police have not yet determined if the victim was the intended target or what the motive was for the shooting. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office is now leading the investigation. From East Orange, New Jersey, Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Now we're going to New York, which was just
this morning.
crazy.
We're following a developing story in Brooklyn. Police are searching for the gunman in a deadly shooting. It happened on Moore Street in Williamsburg just before midnight. We're told a 21-year-old man was shot in the head and died at Elmhurst Hospital. A 20-year-old man also suffered graze wounds to the leg and head. No word on what might have led up to the shooting.
Also in Brooklyn, a young woman was struck by gunfire. The 19-year-old suffered a graze wound to the neck. It happened on Union Street in East Flatbush just after 1 this morning. Police are looking for a group of male suspects believed to be responsible. So far, there's no word of a motive on this shooting.
Yeah,
The incident involving the Popeye spicy chicken sandwich.
Now, we all know that they do not mind reporting stuff like this. They don't mind reporting stuff like this because it portrays us as buffoonish, ignorant as hell, and it shows us in our ugliness all over the world. They don't mind reporting stuff like this.
After you bag it up, don't push me. This was at a mall in Nashville. Man repeatedly punches a woman after an argument while the two were in line. Now, witnesses say she did shove that man first. This was just the latest in a string of
That's a male, but it's not a man. If you seen the posture of this guy, he was so quick to hit her. Why? Because he's a male who is competing with a woman for her likeness. So that's why he'll strike her so quick.
Violent incidents at Popeye's locations since the re-release of their spicy chicken sandwich. Last week in Columbia, Tennessee, an employee body slamming a woman to the ground, breaking 6 of her ribs, her kneecap, and shattering her arm. Anger management experts advise people step back, think about your actions before acting in anger.
Now we're going to go a little bit more with the same story. And look at this. Look at this.
Fistfights, car crashes, even a murder. Yeah, this is going to sound pretty ridiculous, but all of that is over a chicken sandwich.
Some people are losing their minds over the newest offering from Popeyes. Greg Mills, seriously, a chicken sandwich?
Now look at this devil. Look at the evil, wicked grin on this devil's face. And you know he don't mind standing in front of that Popeyes reporting this.
Pat, Jeff, it is unbelievable. I can't believe it. The line is out the door. You see all the cars that are right here. It's been like this all day long. And yep, all because of a chicken sandwich.
It's really good. I mean, it's worth it.
Popeye's chicken sandwich. Fans say it's worth it. Worth a long wait in line.
Like 30 to 45 minutes.
Or at the drive-thru.
I've been here for about 20 minutes.
But is it worth the wait for this crunchy chicken sandwich if you crunch your car in the process? Is this chicken sandwich worth a life? A man was killed after cutting line in Maryland just to get one of these chicken sandwiches.
If you want to go in front of me, go ahead. I ain't tripping. I ain't finna lose my life over a chicken sandwich.
Check out this Popeyes pandemonium. Another Popeyes in Maryland. Guy jumps over the counter and attacks the manager because they ran out of chicken. When this guy doesn't get his, he jumps through the drive-through window.
Oh my God.
This is really embarrassing and buffoonish. This is niggerdom at its worst.
Chicken craze is, well,
crazy, man.
Here at La Brea and Jefferson, the line is out the door. David Alexander waits longer than 30 minutes. Is it worth it?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Welcome to Popeye.
Good afternoon. You have chicken sandwiches?
Yes, we do.
Let me have 2 of those, please.
The drive-through wait is just as long. Customers waiting patiently and alternating turns joining the lineup.
It's very, I would say, coordinated. Everybody's peaceful right now.
It wasn't earlier. 2 cars vying for one spot. That's when this car joined the crunched category.
All this over a chicken sandwich. They don't mind pointing the cameras at us, acting like a damn fool. Some of them not acting, though. They fools.
In a hurry to get that crunchy chicken sandwich. With demand this strong, patience needs to be practiced here at Popeyes. How long have you been waiting for that chicken sandwich?
Maybe an hour and a half.
It better be worth it, huh?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
She could have fried her own chicken and probably would have been better at home.
She lied to me. She lied to me, Pat and Jeff. She never came back and told us because actually she took that chicken sandwich and took it home. Reporting live from South LA, Greg Mills, CBS 2 News. Back to you.
A lot of these people have more issues than just an appetite.
Greg, that's pretty, well, Greg's gone now, but that's pretty.
Right. Now check this out. It just gets crazier.
Hey, look, county jail's chicken sandwich is way worse than this, so don't do this kind of thing. We've told you about how popular the Popeye's chicken sandwich.
It's crazy.
Which is a sign here on the door says it all. Be right back. They don't have any chicken sandwiches. But you know what? Apparently, one group went inside the store asking for the sandwich. They were told no. The customer became so angry, he actually pulled out a gun. Police say there were 5 adults who came in. They also had a baby with them. They walked into the store around 9 o'clock last night to order chicken sandwiches. No big deal, right? Well, the thing is, the manager explained they don't have any chicken sandwiches, that they were all sold out. Then things got way, way out of hand. One of the guys had a gun. He wasn't taking no for an answer. Police say he turned violent and pulled that gun.
One of the males became enraged, pulled a pistol, demanded a chicken sandwich. The manager repeated they were out. The several suspects then fled the location.
So look, the suspects drove off in a blue SUV. They didn't have any sandwiches. The guy who pulled the gun, however, does have something coming his way. Police say he could be charged with aggravated assault because he pulled that weapon. Reporting live, Jeff Ealing, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
We need to correct our behavior.
Chicago police officers responding to reported shooting this weekend were met with twerking and taunts as they tried to disperse the crowd.
No loitering, please disperse. No loitering, please disperse.
Now, this is the behavior of the young ladies when the police arrive after they got a report of a shooting. This is what happened.
Video obtained by WGN Investigates shows the scene on the near west side. Several women could be seen gyrating in front of a squad car as others cheered them on. A recently retired police lieutenant said this is the latest example of disrespect to the police. You can read more on this story at WGNTV.com.
Totally embarrassing. Totally embarrassing. They jumped up on the police cars and were twerking on the police cars. And we want people to respect us. We have to respect ourselves and dignify ourselves if we want people to respect us. This is not respectable. Absolutely ridiculous. Gets crazier. Now this is a Black Lives Matter. This is a Black Lives Matter tribute to MLK and the March on Washington. This is what they put out.
It's your girl, Shayna.
We saw the ignorance. Now we're going to peep the wisdom of our sisters.
As I said, this book demonstrates that we are not as different as we like to think that we are. So what I'm going to go over real brief right now is what the attributes are of the good Black woman. Since she's not on television, we may not recognize her. Okay. Now, the good Black woman has 7 attributes, and then I'm going to explain to you how to utilize those in your day-to-day life. The good Black woman has self-discipline, courteousness, cheerfulness, self-respect, intelligence, cleanliness, and love. Now, we've heard that terminology. You know, it's like one of those where they tell you pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. What do that mean? You know, how can I make that functional in my day-to-day life to benefit me as a practice? It sounds like all theory. Where's the practicum? What do I do? The good Black woman has self-discipline. That's self-control. Let me make that real for you, sisters. We can start with our mouth. A good black woman can control her mouth. She don't have to say everything that comes up. It's okay if he get the last word sometime. You know, she don't cuss in public. And she works on not cussing in private. She don't tear a man down with her mouth because they can't out-argue us. Can't nobody out-argue us. I have charged that we nag our men too much. We keep our men's head tied up so much with our petty grievances about our personal relationship that he don't have time to think and plan for our future. Because he got to deal with what's going to happen with us every day. You know, it's real odd. When the black man come home, he almost have to do a wind test or stick his toe in the door. He don't know what's waiting. He don't know who is there today. He knows it's a possibility that there's some kind of new monster that he didn't even know about yesterday. So, you know, we need to not make it like that. We need to not be so vicious with our mouth. You know, men are not petty like that. They're not going to out-argue us. And it has been proven that verbal abuse is just as harmful as physical abuse. So let's not use our mouth to do that to him. The good black woman is courteous. She says, thank you, baby. I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate every effort you make. Try harder. I'm going to work with you. Thank you. I know you did your best. Now that's a whole new language. But just to say that during the course of the day, every day, with the man that you're trying to be with or want to be with, will make our life easier. We can't get it if we don't give it. We keep wanting them to give us and do something for us that we refuse to do and give to them. It don't work like that. The good black woman has self-respect. She don't have to go out naked just to get the attention of a man. I have sisters all over the country, and they come up to me after the lectures, and they'll be talking to me, and they'll say, well, you know, all he think about is sex. All he think about is my body. I say, why don't you show him something else? And then here's the really good one. They'll come up and they'll have a weave. They have on false eyelashes, another whole face, false fingernails, and all of that. And then they'll say, but I'm looking for a real man. It's real deep. I say, why? What you want a real man for? The good black woman can pull a dress down without thinking that it devalues her. She doesn't have to use her body because she has so many other good attributes about herself to get the attention of a man. We can take the sisters in a position to take all of the charge and sexual energy out of the black community by just dressing differently. We have the power and control over that. That don't stop you from being beautiful. That don't stop you from getting a man. And it certainly puts things on the right perspective so some other judgments can be made other than physical. It don't take no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to have a sexual reaction. That's the most base. We spend less time doing that than anything else we do. So, you know, that doesn't always have to be the forefront issue. We know we are capable of that. The good black woman has intelligence, meaning that she knows how to behave properly in the streets. She's not in the wrong place. Some of our women don't know what else to do other than go to the bar. They need some activities. Some of our women thinking that staying home on the weekend is some kind of sin. Some of our women think that if they don't have a new outfit to wear every day, that they're going to self-destruct. You know, we have a lot of just that kind of nonsense going. Every time we buy new outfits and clothes or whatever, all we're doing is sending money out of our community. We don't own no clothing stores. If the white man closed the shoe factory, we'd all be here barefooted tonight. We don't own no shoe factories. You know, very base things that we don't own, that we put our money into and demand we have to have them. A lot of times our men look at us and know that he ain't never gonna be able to make enough money to give us all of the things we say we want. And don't no man want to be with no woman who he constantly got to deny her the things that she says she wants. And that represents failure to him, to have to always, not be able to provide us with what we ask for. One of the ways we can do that is to start being satisfied with less.
Now I'm going to move on from this. I'm going to go, to another video. Again, this video is about accountability, dignity. I know we must decide who we're going to be as a people, but as a people is above and beyond a title or a name. As a people is when people look at us, they see us as a dignified people and a respectful people. And some people also that we respect and we love each other and we'll take care of each other to the point that when they see us, they'll be like, we can't go down there and mess with those people. That's why I said we have to stand up for each other and we got to stand up to each other when we're out of line. If not, if nobody's standing up to each other and we just allow any type of behavior among our people, I mean, I was taught that a savage is one who has lost knowledge of him or herself and is living a beast life. And we can't portray ourselves as savages before the world. Not knowing how to behave and act in public. Just arguing back and forth, making a spectacle of each other, embarrassing himself, and she's embarrassing. They're embarrassing each other. This is in Chicago. Where they always throw up in our face when we try to hold them accountable for what they do to us. The first thing they'll say is Chicago. They'll push Chicago out their ass. Now, I'm going to move on from this and show something that is outright beyond niggerdom.
Oh, caught on camera.
This is a melee that erupted during a kindergarten graduation.
A throwdown at a kindergarten graduation. We're talking about 5- and 6-year-old children getting into a fight, and their parents and family jumped in. It all happened in Fayette County in Somerville. Fox 13's Darcy Thomas explains how this all got started.
Graduations are times for making memories. These graduates were crossing over into the next journey of their life. This was supposed to be a time for kindergartners to be promoted to the first grade, but it turned into this fight. This video circulating online shows children breaking off into a fight during a graduation at Buckley Carpenter Elementary School.
The kids, that was an exciting day for them to be graduating kindergarten and, starting to be a big kid, and something like that happened is so sad. So sad for them.
I was expecting more of that from like a high school graduation. I didn't think it would be like at a elementary school. So that just threw me off guard.
Fayette County Sheriff said that this all began as an argument between several adults on the bleachers at the graduation. The argument ended with 10 to 12 adults and juveniles getting into a fight.
These adults couldn't even behave themselves in front of their children. Showing them, in all actuality, the behavior they should display when they go to school. What are they going to say if their child is suspended from school because they were fighting? And the child say, "Mom, you fought at my graduation. Dad, you fought at my graduation." What are they gonna do? Smack the child for sassing them? That's problematic when you can't even behave yourself in front of your children at a kindergarten graduation.
Fight at the graduation. Sheriff arrested 3 people, Dontavius Gilcrease, along with a mother and daughter, Rhonda Humphrey and Taisha Humphrey. Fox 13 has learned as a result of Taisha's actions, a child suffered injuries to their face and head. Fox 13 was able to catch up with this mother, Rhonda. She told us that she was wrongfully arrested and that she didn't lay hands on anyone.
Really embarrassing for our county. I just hope that the law gets to the bottom of this and I can clear my name and find out what really happened to my son, because the boy won't allow me to look at the video. I got hysterical. The ambulance called, the police called the ambulance. They said he had a little conclusion. They released him.
She says her son was injured in the fight by an adult elbowing him in the head. However, school officials suspended her son for the rest of the school year until the school was able to prove that he wasn't fighting.
And my son got suspended, but they lifted suspension because they went back and looked at the tape and see where he had been injured by an adult figure. It really hurt me because I had went out my way to give him nice things so he could participate with his fellow classmates. He was stripped of that, and I can't get that back.
Sadly, many people we spoke to were surprised and shocked that something like this happened.
It doesn't surprise me because knowing where we live in a fallen world, people need the Lord Jesus Christ.
Here we go with that. This is just I didn't even scratch the surface of showing, what we need to correct as a people. When people look at us, we want them to look at us as a people that they have to respect because we dignify ourselves and we are self-accountable for our actions. And we need to learn how to just shun the clowns and their behavior. We need each other because nobody outside of us is going to contribute to our salvation. And that's the problem. No self-accountability, and we don't stand for ourselves because we think someone's coming to save us. No one's coming to save us because that's our job and it's our condition, and no one's going to change our condition but us. But this is going to conclude this stream. I just wanted to come on real quick and present this to our people, because identity is a good thing, us knowing who we are. Yet we have to, dignify ourselves as a people. Because regardless of what and who we call ourselves, we want to be respectful and we want to be respected. Because if we call ourselves Aboriginal, we call ourselves Black, we call ourselves Indian, regardless of what and who we call ourselves, if no respect is put on it, you're fighting for nothing. Respect has to be put on it. And guess who has to put the respect on it? Us. We have to put the respect on our name first. Before we start telling people, put some respect on my name, we have to put it on our name first. Self-respect demands and command respect. Men, chest out, stomach in. No nonsense. And if you detect any type of disrespect, you check it at the door. It's not even all the way out that person's mouth before you checking it. Even an action before you checking it. Rank and file don't necessarily gotta be lines. Rank and file don't necessarily gotta be lines. When I see my brother across the street, I give him the nod or I straight up salute him. Give a sister the nod. Anything happen, I got you. That type of thing. But we got to get it together. Peace to the family. I thank you all for coming through. The true daughter of darkness. Thank you for your continued support, sis. My comrade, Talk Your Talk Media, Big Dog Philly OG, Key Norfolk, Mama Chief, Sharon Walker, Brown's Flat Power God, Kill Switch, Equator 7, BB, Bake Shop, thanks for coming through. I haven't seen your name before, but thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. Black Wild Indian, thanks for coming through. I thank you all for your support and for coming to hang out with the brother Nasir. Let me go all the way up. My brother Voodoo Child, thanks for coming through. Salute to you. I don't want to miss anyone. I appreciate you all for coming through. I want to make sure I'm going up the line. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. Thanks to the executive producer, the one who helps the brother daily, my wife. Before I go, I want to say thank you to all of you, and I want to play my video of my wife's book. If you haven't get my my wife's book, Fire, you can go to books on Amazon, paperback or Kindle. FYRE, Angela King James, to get the book Fire. Fire 2, the finale will be out in a few months.
Get your copy of Fire It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
The once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise.
Let's go. Peace, brothers and sisters. Enjoy your evening. Be safe. Until next time, this is The Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.